Welcome, folks, to Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter. Uncle Dave, we have the tournament and season tournaments. Yeah, SMU got a win. You got your SMU shirt on there. So exciting time, the tournament before the tournament. It's like a nice appetizer that
Yep.
we get before we get the NCAA tournament. So this is an exciting time right now as well. We have several coaches being let go here. Damon Stoudemire from Georgia Tech. We
Yeah.
have Will Grant from Boston College.
Yeah.
Mark from St. Bonaventure. Bobby Hurley's apparently going to be let go. We're thinking at the end of this season. That's reports as well. Uh, Kim English from Providence. What do you
Sure.
think of those gentlemen, Uncle Dave, as far as them being let go? I think what jumps out to me is that these are just programs that we talked about. It's like an ongoing theme on our show with the NIL. It's just hard.
Kim English had a $10 million budget at Providence to win with that team. So that was one of the higher ones in the Big East, and he didn't. So I can't say I'm shocked by him. Plus, the way his teams acted in some of those brawls, not really a good idea. Plus, they were used to the excellent coaching of Mr. Cooley. So the bad news is Kim was a bad hire. I know he's a great player, but bad hire. Syracuse, probably Red Orchard's going to be in trouble too because
Yeah.
Syracuse spent some money and they didn't win again. Doesn't mean you spend your money wisely. That's the problem. They have some talent though. Syracuse is better talent than 6-12 in the ACC this year. Syracuse has some players, so he'll be out. Bob Hurley, I think it's a good thing. Arizona State does not spend in the Big 12, and I think that he'll go somewhere else if he wants and get a chance, and I think he'll do well. I think it's one of those situations where you just can't beat that. I think it's a good opportunity for him to get out of there. Like I said, he maybe go work with his brother, maybe take some time
Right.
off.
Right.
I'm sure he has enough money from his deal over the years. Bottom line is, he's a guy that I'm sure will be sought after in some
I
ways.
was shocked. He's been there 11 seasons. I didn't realize it
Yeah,
was
he's
that
been there a
long.
while, and he Arizona State's Herb Sendek was there when they had Harden and stuff. There's never really committed to it.
Yeah.
The Big 12 is rough. Let's be honest, but there are teams who are winning a lot more games than they are who don't have that big name. But Arizona State does not spend it.
And
That's
you're certainly the stepchild right with Arizona right next door to you.
right.
So
And so, Syracuse is probably going to hire Jerry McNamara, especially if they continue this win over Merrimack tonight. Siena, Jerry McNamara's done a
he's
great
having a
job.
nice coaching stint so far, Jerry
Yeah,
McNamara.
and that's a shoe in. The guy who I really think they got wrong is Earl Grant. Boston College just does not spend. The whole league in football and basketball, they're not spending. It's great for girls lacrosse, but it's not great for the two big boys. So bottom line is he is an excellent coach. He won 20 there 2 years ago. Earl Grant can coach. He won at Winthrop. He can coach. If I'm Providence, I call him right now, and I'm hoping that that's the reason that happened so quick. I'm hoping that Providence goes and gets Earl Grant because he can really coach. And if he goes to Providence, that's one of the bigger budgets in the Big East. So I'm hoping that they give him a shot because I believe he could still do it. Coach from St. Bonaventure, Coach Schmidt, he's been there 19 years. He swears he's not getting pushed out. He is 63. The rumors have it that our NBA guy up there got him pushed out a little bit. That's some of the rumors up there. It wouldn't surprise me. Some of these,
Wojnarowski, yeah.
some of these guys think they're bigger than they are, and I just think that I think it's a good move. And Schmidt said, I want to go to the warm weather and all this other stuff. So I think he's right. So happy to see him go out on his own terms. At 63, living in Olin, New York. If you've ever been there like I have, it's freezing. It's your Uncle Ken's alma mater. It's really cold up there, Western New York. So I mean, it's a good time to move on.
Yeah, it's not like Long Island where we get it maybe another month or two of warmer weather up there. You don't.
Yeah, he handled himself with class in the announcement that they pushed him out, and so I'm hofing for that. Right now, Santa Clara's up on Gonzaga by 4 at the half. Hofstra got in tonight. LIU got in with Rod Strickland. Speedy Claxton's the coach at Hofstra. So Preston Edmead is the guard that won it for Hofstra the other night against Monmouth.
Yeah, I know his brother and his father. Good people.
Yep,
So
yep, sure.
Nice to see them doing well.
Had them at basketball camp way back in the day in St. John the Baptist back in my day coaching.
Yep.
So it's good local flavor. That's going to be good. So Rod Strickland, I'm happy for. LAU got Angus to that technicality, but that's the rules. If you're not been in Division One for X amount of years, you can't qualify for the tournament. That used to happen to College of Charleston. A couple of times, College of Charleston went 24-3 and was not allowed in the tournament back in the early '90s. That's the rules. But yes, going to be a lot of movement. Like I said, I don't think Kim English will get a job for a while. Bob Hurley, I think, will probably take a break. He looks really stressed out.
Yeah, he had a
You know,
couple press conferences here where he just looked totally beaten down.
yeah, like I said to you before in the last show, these guys got to get to their bosses before these press conferences and just remind them it's not the end of the world here. You still, I think I don't think the world understands real coaching anymore. So I feel like when you get out there and you're a real coach, I think you have to hide the fact that you're a real coach. And a guy like Bob Hurley, who is all intensity, I don't think you're allowed to be intense anymore in public. I think you can
Can't
do it.
wear your heart on your sleeve as much, right?
Yeah, I think you can do it behind the scenes, but I don't think people understand that the world is so goddamn soft now, and the parents just totally suck. So I feel like, and the kids are just a product of just how soft their parents are. And
Well,
I
I don't know if
think,
you saw the quote by Rick Pitino. He basically said that. He says the parents is the major change. It's not
yeah,
not
and it's the
much.
hangers on. It's the hanger on guys, and all these guys transferring. Interesting stat this week. There's only 22 players in Division One right now out
I
of over
sent that to
300
you. I
schools.
wondered, Uncle Dave, did that count guys who were junior college players though? I wonder if
No, it
that.
doesn't. I
Okay.
want to. I bet more than half of them are walk-ons if we looked it up.
Yeah, that's
That's
really
There's
scary.
only one guy in the SEC, and this is what's wrong with the game. So again, you don't see the same urgency. There's no love. You're not dying with your guys because you just met your guys last June. And I
Right.
don't care what anybody says. If you don't understand the game and you're a casual basketball fan, then you can go on thinking whatever you want. But I don't give a shit because you're wrong. There's no living and dying with your guys because they're not your guys. They're
It
guys you
might
met
sound
last June.
sappy, but there's something about senior day being so watered down now that's kind of
Oh, it's
sad.
terrible. It's
It
terrible.
used to be honoring guys who had been in a program for 4 or 2 years
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah, we just had
Now,
senior night in high school, and those are guys you have for 4 years. Some of them even for more when you have them up in eighth grade and stuff. And bottom line is, that has some meaning.
you're not going to tell me there isn't something special though about like Alex Caravan though with UConn
Sure,
with
sure.
Dan Hurley. You know what I mean?
There's
Come on.
also something special about the chemistry that guys share when they play together that long, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that the world is going to miss out on. Wake Forest, I think Mike Young, Steve Forbes at Wake Forest, they said they were going to probably give him another year. They won tonight against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, I love Coach Young, but this is one of the most disappointing teams I've seen in the ACC in a long time. And you know that the ACC I've been following since 1980 religiously. And so this team has a ton of talent. They have a ton of answers of which way, no matter how you want to play them, they can put a lineup out there. And they just disappointed this year. And they just lost. They're off the bubble now. So it helps SMU, which, of course, I'm going to root for. Now, if we could just get Santa Clara to lose to goddamn Gonzaga, that'll help us too. But there's a lot of moving parts. And here's my other thing. Two things. One, notice there's more injuries this year now that the money is bigger than ever. They're starting to act like NBA guys. We got
Well,
guys
that's the
missing
thing. We're going to get
games.
load management in college. We talked
Yep.
about it last show.
We got guys missing games for ankles. Markel Brown for Louisville's like my back hurts. Guys getting paid, and here we go. It's no coincidence that this is the most money by far we've ever had in this for the NIL stuff, and now we got more guys missing. I never remember this many guys in Division One tournament time missing games because this was the chance to showcase yourself. Now nobody gives a crap. They already got the money. It's a big difference. You can see it.
Yeah.
So it is a total mess. And the other thing, Field of 68, which is a program I love. Last week, Tuesday and Wednesday night were both ACC nights. 3 hours and 40 minutes. They spent 6 minutes on the ACC. Now, I know there's a bias on that program when Tyler Hansbrough and Randolph Childress aren't on there. But Jesus Christ, every team had a game in that league. There's a ton of bubble teams in that league. There's a ton of contenders in that league. And there's a ton of great players in that league. We got 6 minutes out of a 3 hour and 40 minutes on the ACC on Tuesday and Wednesday night. They probably don't even realize it, but how much can you talk about the Big 12 and the Big 10 before I'm just going to puke on myself?
I know.
I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, I love the
It's
show.
like we moved. It's like we moved off the muscle of the SEC. Now it's like you said, the Big 10 and the Big 12 now.
It's just disgusting. I mean, how much time are we going to talk about Kentucky? They're missing 3 players. They have the highest amount of money in their roster, $25 million. Mark Pope's not a great coach. That was a quick hire after Calipari. They panicked. And, you want the great coach, go get Greg Marshall, but you don't want to deal with that. So bottom line is you get what you get. Greg Marshall's sitting out there. Don't tell me, he used a bad word or he made a fucking slur. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. How many guys in their life haven't used that word, a slur or something, or made fun of a guy's heritage or some other bullshit? It's ridiculous. So this guy's going to be penalized forever, all right? Okay, meanwhile, we got guys banging cocktail waitresses, guys cheating. We got all kinds of stuff, and they're back in all the time. So
Yeah.
Greg Marshall sits there. Okay.
You can't pick and choose.
Yeah. Okay. Greg Marshall's sitting there. If you guys want to win, give him a phone call.
Yeah, he certainly his body of work is damn impressive. I mean, he got Wichita State constantly
Oh,
to the tournament. I mean, who else could do that but
yeah,
him?
and he won at Winthrop right away with our players. But the field of 68, like I said, I love the program. I'll be listening again tomorrow, but a little disappointing in the fact that they didn't cover the ACC for more than a hot minute when everybody on Tuesday and Wednesday played, and like we have bubble teams, and it's still the league with the most championships of all time. And again, the last several years still has the best record in the NCAA tournament. But we're going to ignore that. But bottom line is, and this year it's deep as hell. So bottom line is they just ignored it. And I love the program, but that's a fair criticism.
What do you think of Charlie Baker as the president of the NCAA saying he wants to expand the tournament to maybe
Uh,
62 to 76 teams?
just trying to make money. As of now, the bubble was pretty weak this year. Everybody the other day lost on the bubble. If you make it 76, you cheapen it. And here's the other problem: when do you start the tournament?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I
Like
mean, are we going
this
to
is
go
a
until
this is a Thursday Friday thing that we start. We have the out bracket. We cannot be starting this thing on a
we'll be
Monday or a
going to
Tuesday.
almost May then at that point?
No, what they're going to do is start it earlier, like on a Monday or a Tuesday, and that's disgusting. You're going to ruin this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is. You can talk about the Super Bowl all you want. Nothing's more Americana than your bracket. Nothing. Next
Everybody
Monday,
joins in on that at the same time.
next Monday, before the first 2 days of the tournament, there's no event more Americana than that. Nothing. The Super Bowl is great and everybody plays their pool with their numbers. Great. Well, this bracket exists before that pool ever existed. This bracket's been going on for a long time, and everybody will have a bracket. Everybody. This is Americana, and you're gonna fuck this thing up like that. I just, yeah.
Even ladies in your workplace that know nothing about basketball.
Yeah, it's all about greed, though. It's all about greed, and people trying to make money, and yeah, it's just sad.
There's really no argument other than what you just said there. Just greed and just wanting to make more money. There's really
Yeah,
no.
but again, here we are trying to make more money. Meanwhile, we got a level of basketball now where, like I said, guys will be guys are already making phone calls. I'm sure, and the portal's not open yet, but it doesn't matter. It's disgusting. So there's guys in the handshake line every night now that are perfectly trying to say great things to people every night because you never know down the line when you leave a guy.
Of course.
So I mean, it's just ridiculous. So like I look at this Virginia Tech team here. That point guard, he's a sophomore. If coach gets let go, every team in America is going to call this kid. He's a stud.
Oh, sure.
He's a stud. Now, Stanford's a point guard. He could definitely go to the NBA. He's a little small. I'd stay another year, but he's one of the top 5 freshmen in the country. He's going to get drafted in the top 10 players. I mean, go get Efakoro, but just go get him. He's a stud. But nobody will, if he stays, great. But if not, he goes to the NBA. But everybody will call him anyway. Shouldn't be allowed to call a guy until he enters the portal. When you wanted to transfer back in the old day, you had to get what was called your release. That was the rule. Why can't we do that anymore? Why can't we still have the rule be no contact until a person gets their release? You can't be working behind the scenes before a guy gets his release. That should be a rule. Why that rule was existed for years. It has nothing to do with the cell phone. Why did that stop in the last 5 years? It's bullshit.
Yeah, we went from so many rules to now absolutely zero. You just
but
have that
rule needs to be enforced.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them were good rules.
But we had guys in the Catholic League doing that. We had people asking Schmitty to leave St. Anthony's in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, you have absolutely.
Point. So we have all these guys sitting out. Speaking of John Schmidt, we have all these guys sitting out with these ankles, right? John Schmidt played 60 minutes in a 4 overtime game versus Dowling in Division II CW Post. In the middle of the game, he lost his tooth. His mouth is full of blood. He goes back down the next time, picks up his tooth, puts it in his sock. Tim Kluse has to call 2 timeouts until he could stop the bleeding, which they never stopped. Schmidt just dealt with it, went back in, played 60 minutes, and wins the game. So that guy's doing that, but we got guys today sitting out with my ankle hurts. This is your career on the line here, and your ankle hurts, sit you out. I just it's hard. It's hard to watch. It really is.
Well, it's just gone down a level, like you said. That's really monkey see, monkey do, right? I mean, that's really what we got going on here.
Plus the other thing is you don't love your teammates. You just met them. There's no ride or die mentality, and the NBA is already full of this. Steve Kerr again calling for a shorter season. I've told you how to handle this. 72 games, no back-to-backs, but then no load management. Every time you miss, you're out on the 5-day DL or the 10-day DL. None of this crap. It's like football or baseball. You got to go on the DL or hockey. None of this crap where I just sit a guy tonight for a rest. You got to go on the DL.
I love that idea. I think that really changes it. If you sit out a guy, you have to be at at least five days. So whatever.
Exactly.
3 games in 5 days, and so be it. Yeah.
Exactly. 72 games, no back-to-backs, but no load management. When you're out for 5 or 10-day DL. You make the choice. I'm just tired of it.
It's just really just draining and aggravating that you even have to have these type of discussions, I think, on this stuff. It's
and
just
it's
totally
disgusting.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So again, you're lowering the bar, and this is an NBA season that could have been so special, but this has been the worst one in my lifetime, just as far as quality goes. And yet you have great stories like Con Knueppel, freaking Edgecombe, Cooper Flag.
The
You have
Celtics.
great stories. The Pistons, the Celtics are doing freakish things with that roster. You have great stories, but yet we can't get people to play hard every night. So we get guys like Trae Young who goes to the Wizards. They purposely sit him so they could lose more games. Anthony Davis, he gets traded. Purposely sit him so he could lose more games. Teams like the Warriors doubling down on being smaller. And then you go get Porzingis, who's now out and sick, and they're wondering, why is he out and sick?
Right.
Well, shit, he's only been out and sick for 4 years.
Right.
And like, what is wrong with these GMs? They suck. Bob Myers is the GM of the Warriors, by the way. You can tell that.
Yeah.
This team's a mess. It's time to go. And by the way, I'd like to add again that Magic Johnson was never 500. The best point guard debate of all time for now the 700th time. We can see this guy still be 500.
We talked about it a little bit since in between the last show and this one here on our Instagram messaging with Miami, Ohio. Being undefeated, but somehow being a bubble team. Can you explain that one to me? I don't know how. I understand they don't play in like the Big East or the ACC, but I don't give a damn though. You go 31-0. I don't care who's playing every night.
If you're gonna do Ken Palm, the Wob, or the Net, yeah, they're like 55th in those categories. But is anybody gonna roll into Miami of Ohio and want to deal with them on the road?
No.
The answer is no. There's two reasons for that. One, they don't want a loss in a quad 2 or a quad 3 game. They'll kill them at this time of year. And two, the other reason is you don't get a guarantee. So what's the pleasure for you? Then I say to you, invite Miami of Ohio in. Invite them in and see what happens. But my point is, if you've never played anything in your life, 31-0 doesn't mean anything to you. But you know and I know, if you're 31-0, you deserve to be in that tournament.
Even if you're a far superior team in all your games that you play, to go 31 up, 31 down, that's damn impressive. I want to
see what?
Like
and
that.
And let's be honest, the MAC has had a lot of success in basketball in the NCAA tournament. This is not a league that's never won a game. This is not, a league like maybe the America East, with the exception of Vermont that time. This is not that league. This is a league that's, Miami of Ohio's had some success with Wally Serbiak.
Yep.
Also, Ohio University's had some success with the point guard, the little point guard they had back in the day. So this is a league that's had some success. So I'm just, disappointed that, and again, it's Bruce Pearl, so you have to take it softly. And Bruce is doing the Steve Lavin deal where he retires, but then it's going to sit there and watch. So you're going to sit there and claim like you wanted more time, but you're really not getting any more time. You just quit, and then you sat there and watched what? What'd you quit? So you're getting more time, and meanwhile your son's hung out there to dry like that. I mean, it was like Steve Lavin at St. John's. He resigns and he's up in the booth watching St. John's get their ass handed to drinking.
Well, I sent you the video and you saw it too. Bruce Pearl, I give him credit. He fully admitted it was complete nepotism, and he fully admitted that he's lobbying for Miami, Ohio not to be in, so maybe that Auburn could get in. So I mean, he was completely transparent on it. So I appreciate.
If Auburn gets in, that'd be the team with the most losses of all time to get in that large. So
yeah, let's be honest. I want to see a team that's undefeated before a mediocre Auburn team. So it's not even close.
Absolutely. We've talked about this before. If you're not 500 in your league,
no way. You're no way. I don't care what league you're in.
The bottom line is it's if Auburn loses another game, I think that's 17 losses. It's the same thing with Cincinnati. They'd have 16 losses if they lose another game. So it's going to be tricky, but I don't think Auburn's going to get in anyway. The SEC is not nearly as strong this year. They are the fourth. Their best team is the fourth number 1 seed, although they are the hottest team in the country right now. Bottom line is SEC has not been a power this year. Kentucky is missing 3 players. Vanderbilt got off to a great start. They haven't done crap since. So that's, let's be honest. The SEC has not been a great league this year. It's good, but it's not great.
So as far as these games went today, Uncle Dave, we had Pittsburgh winning on a buzzer beater against Stanford. We had
rebound.
Yeah. And then
everybody always over pursues.
You had a chance with Virginia Tech tonight, too, against Wake Forest to have a putback and win the game, too. So
he missed. Bedford missed at the buzzer. That was a good thing for SMU that Virginia Tech lost like that. Like I said, I love Mike Young. The thing that hurt Virginia Tech this year, and I've watched him 20 times at least, is the kid Iadalis from Greece. Should be better, but he was a coin flip. He should be one of the best players in the ACC, and he just did not deliver. He's a pro from Greece, and a lot of the NBA scouts are there, but they'll take him based on talent. But if he ever delivered this year, they'd be they'd have been 12-6 in the ACC. Instead, they went 8-10, and they needed this game tonight, and now they're out. I feel bad for Mike Young, as I said. He's an old Wofford coach, I believe, and runs great stuff. But he's you got to win after a while. Hopefully, Virginia Tech keeps him. But like I said, if not, they're gonna all be over the point guard. He's a stud.
Yeah, I think when you have a coaching change, especially, then all your players, you're pretty much guaranteed they're going to get poached or they're going to take it upon themselves into the portal. Yeah.
Sure.
That's an unfortunate thing. What sticks out to me, Uncle Dave, too, I mean, I think Dana Altman is relieved that this year might be over with Maryland beating Oregon today by 10.
Oregon had 16 points in the first half for a while.
Yeah, they had 12 in the first half. They had scored 12 first half points.
Dana Altman's one of the best coaches in the country. He never does that stuff.
I mean, is this just an anomaly year with the NIL, with the transfer portal, that maybe it's just a fluke, or what do you make of Oregon's season this year?
I assume Oregon's spending with a lot of Nike money, but
of course.
Who knows? The other thing is, you see that the Pac-12 is coming back. They're going to get Oregon State, and they're going to get a couple other schools, and they're going to try to come back. So this is going to be interesting. Speaking of Oregon State and those guys. Oregon State had a decent year this year, 500, pretty solid for them. Gonzaga is down 4 right now. So they're hanging around here. Yeah, they're down 4. Gonzaga's down 4. Like I said, yeah, SMU won today. Wake Forest won that game in overtime. Great job. They didn't even have their best player play well, and they still won. Like I said, Gonzaga is trailing right now. Jackson State and Grambling are tied with 5 minutes left. Siena's beating Merrimack by 13. Coach Merrimack, we play the same zone as they do, basically. We stole it from them. It's a great zone. It's like a 4-1 zone. It's very creative, and he schedules big-time teams. That would not be a team you'd want to see in the NCAA tournament because their zone, that's all they play, and it's a difficult zone. So Coach Galley, you'd not want to see him in that tournament. Jerry McNamara, though, looks like he's going to pull off this upset here.
It's incredible, too, especially Jerry McNamara post-college career. He definitely had some struggles there, so
sure,
really cool to see him doing well as a coach.
Oh, yeah, well, it's funny. When he left, I was shocked because he and Coach Autry were on Boeheim's staff, and he cut out. You see Nolan Smith's in the tournament. You see that?
Yes. Good
to see Nolan Smith take Tennessee State and get right back at it. Now, if you're Memphis and you buy out Penny Hardaway, which they won't because everybody's having money troubles, do you hire Nolan Smith that quick? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you might.
Yeah, maybe you do. We'll have to see.
Might.
But I would. Got to get those young guys. The kids are responding better to them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's such a shame, too, because Penny Hardaway, I mean, obviously was a tremendous player in college and in the NBA. Obviously, his career got cut short.
He's had a great career. Just this year, they were just really bad.
Right.
And,
yep.
Obviously, there's a discussion about how they have a $5 million buyout on. Not that he needs the money, but
no,
schools are not willing to lose $5 million to a coach anymore. When you buy these guys out, you not only do you
shows you how ruthless it is, Uncle Dave, with him being alumni of the school.
Yeah, once you hurt the alumni, they don't come back. I mean, like you guys guys get bitter about it.
Sure.
The guys in the pros get bitter about it. It's just one of those things. So Kansas State will be a job that's open. Wright State won in their league, the Horizon League, so they were the 1 seed. They're 23-11. They will go to the NCAA tournament. So good news to them. Detroit Mercy had an excellent year. Like I said, LAU is going to be in there. Stephen F. Austin with our man Walkout from years ago. Walk Up, he was in there. Hofstra's in there. So a lot of fun teams this year. It's gonna be a fun situation here because
what was a great game today was Cincinnati and Utah. Cincinnati and Utah was an excellent game. Utah actually outscored Cincinnati by 2 points in the second half, and Utah obviously struggled this year. But Cincinnati's one of those teams where they've had some incredible games this year. I mean, the Kansas game. Yeah. Going into Kansas and blowing them out. I mean, they're obviously a team that they can just beat anybody on any given day.
There was 3 buzzer beaters over the weekend. Furman hit one on like a 48-footer, like I said. Then obviously Mr. Edmead hit one. And then you saw, just so many buzzer beaters. Lehigh hit one. BU hit one versus Navy. So just great basketball. And that's what it's all about. And that's why I love watching those tournaments. And that's why I get a kick out of watching Merrimack and these other games. I mean, not enough people realize how good these guys are. They're ridiculously good.
No, they don't.
The Division III tournament is going. Farmingdale made it, but they lost. They didn't make it. They lost in their conference championship to Yeshiva, and Yeshiva's in the Sweet 16. They won their first two games. One of them on a controversial foul call at the buzzer that was not a foul, so people are not happy about that. But so Shiva is the only local flavor in there. And the high school playoffs have county champs. Smithtown West won their first one. Mount Sinai won second year in a row. So Bayshore beat Floyd for the second and third year in a row. So those championships have been decided as well. So it's kind of fun right now.
The Smithtown West score, Uncle Dave, I couldn't believe they won by 30. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
well,
what?
they both play really fast, and it comes down to
Obviously,
making shots.
98 points, 98 to 68. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we play Hills West in our league, and they're gonna get that first good look. They're gonna take it. They want to speed you up, but the
No
bad news
kidding.
is you both like to speed up each other, and
Right.
that's
It could sometimes go that way, right? When you
yeah,
do,
it gets out of hand quick. That's the problem.
right. Who I'm happy for, Uncle Dave, is Northwestern getting a win today over Penn State.
Sure, Penn
Chris
State's in a
Collins.
weird situation right now.
I tell you what, Uncle Dave, Martinelli for Northwestern is an excellent player, that guy.
He sure is.
Struggled this year, but man, that guy could put it in the bucket, though.
You know who's hot right now? Rutgers won 4 of their last 6, and they avoided having to play on the first day. They're going to be a
Yeah,
tough out.
that's a big thing, right? And sometimes you just need to, it's like kind of, I mean, people forget with you have NC State. Remember when they
Yeah,
got hurt with O'Connell and Burns? I mean, that was an incredible run that they had.
yeah, they won 5 days in a row. But Tariq Francis for Rutgers has really come on, and if they could keep that group together, they're playing defense again this year. If they could keep that group together and add a piece, I mean, anything's possible. They're going to be tough because they're well coached, obviously, and they're in all these games. You could just see it. Some nights the ball just doesn't go in the hole enough for them, but they're really playing well.
As a coach at that point, you have to be a great marketer and salesman to just be able to be like, hey, see my vision right now and come back. Obviously that's
Yeah.
kind of what you have to do with these guys, I think, year to year.
Well, that's the problem. The minute Rutgers, is not alive, somebody will be on the phone with Mr. Francis, and
Yeah.
he is a stud. He reminds me of the guy who just got fired, Damon Stoudemire, a little bit. Probably not as good a leaper, but just a really good player, really, really good at getting to the rack. Just like a winner, a tough winner, stronger than his size. People forget Mighty Mouse's rookie of the year.
He
At
was an
Georgia
excellent
Tech,
player.
but
Yeah.
Georgia Tech is just not putting in the cash either. I mean, they've had a good couple of years in football and baseball, but their basketball is not the same since Bobby Cremins left, and even Prosser did a good job there, but they had no patience with him. He was a guy that made the tournament a couple of times. We've talked about this. These alums now think that they should make it every year, and so Prosser is now calling games and stuff like that. But as a guy that could coach. And so these guys, they make the tournament like every other year, and people think that's not good enough. Not everybody's Duke, it's not like that.
Yeah,
By the
you're
way,
not Michigan, yeah.
right, and Carolina is not going to win now without Caleb Wilson. So that's sad because Caleb Wilson might be my first pick in the draft.
Yeah,
Him or
you hate to see that, right? Even though
I
it's
was
North
if I was
Carolina,
picking first, I'm picking him or Boozer. But and then Kansas, you don't know what you're going to get with the kid there. He's in and out of
well,
the
no,
lineup.
I think for him, I think Darren Peterson for me would be 4. I think Wilson, Boozer, and DeBansta, I think would be the top 3
Yeah,
picks.
yeah, or maybe even the point guard. The point guard from Houston is tough too. So I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. And the kid from Stanford, oh my goodness, is he good? Holy
yeah,
Jesus! So it's really talented
yeah.
freshman class. And then the kid from Lauenborg from Michigan is very good. I mean, he is a stud. I mean, I tell you, I wouldn't mind taking him first either.
They
It
were
is,
saying it on the SMU and Syracuse broadcast that 4 of the top 5 first team All ACC players were freshmen. That's the first time they ever
yeah,
had that.
yeah. Well, that's because the league was dominant for years. Well, such a deep league.
There's no
The
way
thing
you could
about
have that ever at any point.
the thing about the ACC this year was the only team that you didn't feel threatened by this year when you watched them was Georgia Tech. BC was in a lot of games, and like I said, I believe Coach gets them to play hard.
Even Syracuse was.
Syracuse had 4 or 5 guys that could put the ball in the hole. Freeman's a good player. So
Well,
is
they had SMU. They gave them a run. It was a
you sure
game
did.
late in the
Well,
second half.
they beat SMU on Valentine's Day. So they're a scary team. Carmelo's son, I guess, was hurt. But the other thing is they got Georgia Tech's best player, and then they have so many players. They have like 4 or 5 guys that can score it. Then you had Notre Dame, even on their bad days, had 2 of the best shooters in the league. They never had their point guard all year, but Notre Dame could beat you because Mika Shrewsbury runs great sets, and he had a great shooter. Serter is one of the best shooters you'll ever see. And that's why Virginia Tech disappointed me. They had two great shooters. They had Shoot, who used to go to Duke, and they had the kid, from Greece, and they just did it. Never panned out for him, even though the point guard played flawless basketball. Toby Lawai didn't play as well this year, but yeah, they're an excellent team. Wake Forest has gotten hot late. The team that's the hottest in the ACC right now is Florida State. Florida State has a kid that McCray that I would draft high. He is he's one of those guys that reminds me of like a Stevenson who played for the Mavs, a guy that's just got a big body, he's big and strong, he makes winning plays. I really feel like he's a guy that I could see doing good things in the NBA is definitely fitting on someone's roster.
No question about it.
But there's so many good games today, and tomorrow the ACC starts in full blown 4 games tomorrow. It's exciting.
That's great. I mean, tomorrow you have games right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I mean, it's going to be incredible tomorrow.
Yeah, SMU's on at 2:30. I gotta get home in time for SMU at 2:30.
Yeah, I mean, you have LSU, Kentucky tomorrow. You have Pittsburgh, NC State, Maryland, and Iowa, Arizona State, Iowa State. So you have a nice slate of games in that early window there. And like you said, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a smorgasbord of stuff going on here. So,
well, the interesting thing is this is Maryland's worst record in 100 years of basketball. I heard the other day. But Buzz always has a tough first year and always wins the second year. So we shall see what's going to happen. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm sure Buzz will get it done. He's a great X's and O guy, good motivator, a lot of energy. The thing with Buzz, though, is we have to see if he's going to be able to go get the players and see if Maryland spends that money. I believe they will. But we'll see. I mean, that's an interesting situation there. NC State is one of the coolest. I think they've lost 6 of their last 7. They have 4 guys who can go get a basket. I'm surprised they lost 6 out of 7. They are a horrendous defensive team. But I can't believe they've lost 6 out of 7 with that talent on the floor.
What do you think, Uncle Dave, with Kaya and Anthony? Do you think he has to come back another year, right? You figure?
Oh, God, he's not ready for the NBA. He can't guard in college.
And Gilbert Arenas' his son as well. Those guys, I think they both have to come back, I think, another season for sure.
I haven't seen Arenas' son enough. I saw Kyan a lot, and I tell you, he could really score the ball.
Yeah.
But he's not strong enough to finish in traffic now. And that's what these guys probably take that as an insult, but he's a player. He's going to be good. He killed SMU the first time. Tie game between Santa Clara and Gonzaga, 14-24 left. But he killed SMU the first time. Arizona State did get a win today versus Baylor, so I was happy for Bobby Hurley there in the Big 12 tournament. Look what happened to Utah. Remember how good Utah used to be?
I know.
And now they go to the Big 12, and Rick Majerus and Keith Van Horn and guys like that, and all of a sudden you go to the Big 12, and all of a sudden you're out of the
different ball game. Yeah, it's a different game.
You're a fish out of water. And,
well, you talked about it too. You said good basketball programs like Syracuse and Pittsburgh go to the ACC. Now all of a sudden it's a different ball game now. Notre Dame as well has learned that.
Yeah, you're at the bottom. It's look at BC. Like I said, Earl Grant can really coach. It's just not it's just not happening right now, and it's one of those tough things that we have to deal with. But you feel bad for some of these coaches. I guess we've talked about this before. It's these are coach killing leagues. Siena's up 15 with 9 minutes left. Holy crap. Feel bad for Mary Mac, man. They really did a good job this year, but happy for Jerry McNamara if they do win. Jerry McNamara is always one of those guys, even though I'm not a Syracuse fan. I saw him play at the Dome. I saw him play at the Garden several times. I'd always respected him as an overachiever.
Oh, Jim Boeheim loved him.
Yeah, well, I think that that would, I mean, I don't know if the Syracuse alums, I think they would love Jerry McNamara, obviously, but, he did win 2 years in a row at Siena, and Siena's always been good basketball. A lot of guys have moved up out of Siena. Coach McCaffrey at Iowa was a Siena guy. So a lot of guys get those Siena jobs, and then they go to the next spot. Gonzaga just took the lead for the first time all night, 50-49. But, like I said, Portland State, Montana right now. Montana's up. They're not the favorite, obviously, but they're up. But this is going to be a good amount of bubble teams here, which is it's nice to watch. Tomorrow will be some more bubbles teams in the Big Ten. I believe Indiana's going to be out. Auburn is the team to watch tomorrow if they play. I believe they do play. They do
play tomorrow.
Who they have?
They play Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah, Mississippi State is bad. So Auburn should get a win there because Mississippi State has been very disappointing. Chris Beard's team's been very disappointing at Mississippi this year. Chris Beard could flat out coach them. They were a 6th seed last year, and they just didn't do anything this year. The rumor is Porter Moser's in trouble for Oklahoma. That's another rumor. I'd give him another shot. Again, the SEC is a coach killing league, but he had a good year last year. But no one has any patience. It's just it's totally crazy. Well, Santa Clara's right back on top. So yeah, it's exciting, but the bubble is alive and well tonight. It's good stuff.
So this is breaking, Uncle Dave. Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat
77 tonight, right?
just broke the record for the second most points in NBA history at 83 points tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I saw when he had 77.
83 points tonight.
Did he hit any threes? Because I didn't
And
know he
150 to 129 win over the Wizards here. So he was 20 of 43 from the floor, 7 of 22 from 3-point range, and 36 of 43 from the foul line.
wow, power
43
line.
free throws.
That's a lot of defense by the Wizards, huh? They have to be
Oh
hard.
my goodness.
Yeah, the league is a disgrace. It really is.
Oh my goodness.
It really is. That's why I love when these idiots on these like Facebook pages go, "Is the NBA defense better now or in the '90s?" I go, well, "How many guys hit 50 in the '90s? You can count on one hand. Now we get a guy a week. Some of them who suck."
Jesus. I mean, the record attempt for free throws was 39 by Dwight Howard. And that was
Intentional.
a hack a shack type of thing as well for
Yes, of
Dwight
course.
Howard. So Bam Adebayo is a good free throw shooter, so they're not doing that on him. So these are legitimate fouls and at the rim. I mean, this is just. I mean, what do you make of that, Uncle Dave? 83 points for
Well,
Bam
they're playing the
Adebayo.
Wizards. We're playing the Wizards who have mailed in the season a long time ago. As soon as they got Trae Young, they didn't even want him to play.
At least you can say Kobe Bryant's 81 was at a time where you had teams that were playing defense and had some pride. So I definitely hold that in higher regard than this. But I mean, this
Sure,
is
I,
absolutely
I love
insane,
I
though.
love Bam because Bam plays hard every night. I do like him. But yeah, Kobe's 81 is a little more impressive, I'm sure. But it's like the sack records we get now. It's like this. It's just like I don't know. It's just there's very little substance these days. It's just. But then again, if you're young enough and don't remember anything, you think this is fucking great.
Jesus.
It's like one of my guys. It's like one of my kids in class. They try to tell me that John Morant is the best point guard of all time. I said, "You clearly on crack."
That's obviously someone just trying to be an idiot.
No, I told him. I said, "You really think that, don't you?" And I go, "Well, I actually." So I mocked him. I said, "Well, I
Oh
understand."
boy.
I said, "Because
John
you don't
Moran
know
hasn't
these."
even played in NBA Finals yet.
I said, "The guy can't shoot a jump shot. If you left him in a gym by himself, he can't make a basket." I said, "But yeah, he
And
goes
now
to
with
the
his off and now with his off the court problems, it's like a no-brainer. Why would you even
yeah." But
want
the
to go
high
near
school
this
kid
guy?
doesn't even see the value of that. These are the kids that think like you shouldn't have to go to class too, and you play on the team. Well, you clearly don't understand what's
Well,
about.
I've read several different things that like GMs don't have like any value as far as they put towards him now. Like he's
Well,
someone who's viewed as kind of like a toxic, poisonous kind of personality and demeanor and everything that he's not going to
sure.
be someone you're
Well,
going to bring in there.
well, that's why I give, and this is like a false thing I'm going to say, but part of it's true. This is why the Thunder are an interesting team. Now everybody thinks they have one star. Let's be honest, they have three. Williams and Chet is a star. He just doesn't act like a star. He's a goofy looking guy. He looks like
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
Holmgren's at least half a star if you
Yeah,
want to
he's a
say.
star. Holcomb's going to be a Hall of Fame player. Williams is another guy, but their low key regular guys thing is a good thing for the league. But everybody's going to think you just got to get one star, but you're not going to have Chet and Williams to go with that. They have more than one star, let's be honest. So the thing is, but a lot of GMs are realizing, hopefully, that if you look what the Celtics have done. Now, here's the problem, though. And we're going to see this. I'm going to tell you this right now on March 10th. You're going to see a lot of these teams that achieve so much in the regular season going to get their ass handed to them in the playoffs. Like, I'm not surprised if the Celtics lose in the 2-7. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the two. They're just not that talented, and plus teams don't play hard or play to care at all, like we've talked about in the regular season. Once you get to the playoffs, that all changes, and so it's going to get crazy. The Celtics had this
Yeah,
amazing
the officiating's different, the
yeah,
rotations are
yeah.
different,
When you
everything.
look at that roster, and now you're going to get to see them for 7 days. You got to get to make adjustments. You're not getting off the plane on Tuesday night and playing on Wednesday with no time just to do a walkthrough. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's just going to be. Again, this is why there are more upsets than ever before to these NBA playoffs because you're seeing the regular season is just meaningless now. And that's why they have to address tanking. it's a disgrace. But yeah, Bam Adebayo. I saw he had 77. I didn't see that he wound up at 83.
83. Wanted to also mention, you talked about it a little bit, that Jared McCain, he's slowly carving out a nice role for himself on the Thunder, averaging 12 points
I
on
can't wait to
20.
hear that story from the Sixers because there's no way you get rid of one of the best. She's one of the best shooters in the NBA.
That to me, like you said, that's going to come out that something was really wrong with them in
Yeah,
there.
either him and Edgecombe or him and Tyrese Maxey didn't get along or something happened because he could really stroke it, and everybody needs shooting. This
But
kid
when you
is
have a
like
guy who's just a pure scorer like him, you just don't let that
Vinny
go.
Johnson. He was like Vinny Johnson was. It's the
Yeah,
same guy.
that to me just does not make any
Yeah,
sense.
so
But
we're gonna, and they got him for nothing, pretty much.
right, exactly. He gave him away for a bucket of basketballs,
You
basically.
watch what OKC does with this guy.
Yeah, no, I mean the role
I
that he's
think
had for
I think
himself
he
right
gives
there.
him. If you get a healthy Williams, I think they win again. I really do. I
Right,
mean,
I think there's a strong chance of that.
you're gonna
Absolutely.
have to get through Denver. If Denver has Aaron Gordon healthy, okay, maybe
Yeah,
Denver beats them. But if not, and Aaron Gordon going to be healthy, well, we don't know. We're gonna have
yeah.
to see. Gonzaga just missed a layup to go up 3. Oh my God, drives you crazy. Coach just lost his freaking mind. He was list a point blank layup. Oh my God. Same thing Virginia Tech did tonight. Missed 2 or 3 point blank layups in the last 4 minutes. Coach Young's just got gray hair popping out all over the place.
So what do you make, Uncle Dave, too? I sent you a video on this, and it's been talked about now in the NBA with the Luka Doncic and JJ Redick altercation, him checking out of the game.
Did he check himself out?
No, so Coach Redick substituted him out, and I think he wasn't happy with that and wound up throwing a fit and wasn't exactly talking nicely to Coach Redick, let's say. And JJ Redick let him hear about it and basically told him to stop bitching, which actually I applaud Coach Redick
Me
for
too.
that because I think Luka Doncic sometimes can act like a complete dickhead.
Yeah.
Doesn't run back on defense all the time. I mean, obviously, he's one of the best offensively skilled players of all time. There's no denying
Yeah.
that. But sometimes his attitude, I think, can be a problem. And constantly complaining to the referees. I know all stars do it to some degree, but he's just, I think, above and beyond with the complaining. Is just over the top now. It's worn thin now with Coach Redick, and I think
Yeah. Well,
that's
the
what
funny
happened
thing
with it.
is, I think this happened all the time in the past before we had video and everything.
Right, everything gets captured now.
Everything gets videoed now, but I didn't even think that was a big blow up. I mean, they might have said "fuck you" to each other. Who cares? You can say "fuck you" to me and sit down.
Yeah,
I'll be back in
you've had coaches and players do that since
Yeah.
coaching began and play.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, you don't have to get along, especially at that level. I mean, the players are making more than the coaches. I mean, this is something that it happens a lot. It's something that some guys are just harder to coach than other guys. Will Chamberlain refusing to go into a game, Scottie Pippen refusing to go into a game. We've all been there. Scottie Pippen's a great player. Scottie didn't curse at him; he just refused to go in. Obviously Larry Bird taking the clipboard away from KC Jones and saying we're not running that shit. We're running this shit. So it's like, so guys do this stuff. I mean, that's the way it is. But now we catch it all on film. I respect Redick for doing it and showing some sack for a change. That team, I just think, is just treading water right now.
Yeah, they are. You talked about before the season. You're like they're going to win 50 games and be an easy out of in the playoffs,
Yeah,
basically.
because I don't know who they're guarding. And
No, they're not
the
going
bad
to.
thing is, again, this is a team like the Warriors who goes out and double and triples down on the same players. You have to be able to guard somebody in the post and on the perimeter. And so here you are. You have Reeves, Luka, and LeBron. Now, they could score with anybody. They never lose in a 3-on-3 tournament. But who the hell are they guarding in a 7-game series? I mean, if you don't put LeBron at the 4 or the center, which is what I would do with him at this stage, I have him be my backup center and my 4 when he starts. I swear to God, because he's strong enough to play down there. So since he's strong enough to play down there, I would use him as that. And then maybe we could get a little more defense on the perimeter. But I know his ego will never let him do that because he's a pain in the ass. But the thing is, I'd put him at the 4 and the 5. I swear to God. You tell me he can't play 5 in this NBA where very few 5s can score?
One of the most frustrating things that I saw was DeAndre Ayton talking about how, they're trying to make me Clint Capella, and I'm not Clint Capella. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you have a great opportunity here. You have a uniquely offensively talented team. If you would just rebound and defend, and Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal were talking about it, they're like, look, if you just run the floor hard up and down every trip, you're going to get at least 12, 14 points on dump offs and rim runs.
Yeah,
So
but not only
it's
that.
just one of those things where I think guys sometimes forget there's one basketball out there. Not everybody can get 20 shots.
And the other thing is on the pick and roll,
Oh my God.
they definitely have to let him go.
Yeah, the lobs and the slip passes you could give him, it's ridiculous. He can get 8
Yeah, and
points some nights just
why
off that.
But that's the difference between a guy like him and Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler
Exactly.
didn't care.
Exactly. Yep.
But it drives you crazy because you feel for these guys. It's a mess because guys, their egos get in the way, and don't forget, everybody is handlers now, and everybody's got guys in their ear, and
Oh yeah.
it's just crazy.
You're
It's
telling me
crazy.
he's not being told, oh, they're not utilizing you right enough. You should be getting more shots and getting more points. Of course, that's
Yeah,
being
of
told to him.
course.
But you have LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves on the team. So yeah,
Sure.
those guys are going to get the majority of the looks.
Sure. And Mary Mack's right back in it, down 6 with under 4 minutes.
You never say never. Never say never, especially this time of year. That's for
You
damn
knew
sure.
that was coming. A team isn't that good and just die on you unless the pressure just overwhelms them. So it's going to be right now. I think they have the right 4 number 1 seeds. Florida's the hottest team in the country, I think. Michigan got a big injury. I think that's going to hurt them. Johnson got hurt. He's very, very long, very strong. And I still don't trust Elliott Cadeau. Without Johnson, that's going to hurt. But at the same time, I think that, those 4 seeds are a lot better than everybody else. Michigan State is like Marquette of last year, where they could lose a game and nothing happens to their seed. I don't know how they're a 2 seed. This team has lost big game after big game this year, and they're still a 2 seed. I don't get it. Houston's overrated because they were great last year, but last year they had guys who've been in college for 7 and 8 years. This year they don't. So they're not the same team either. So, but I tell you, there are some sleeper teams out there that can make a run to a Sweet 16 or a Final Four. There's a couple in each league. I mean, if you're not, if you don't keep your eye on Kansas, if this kid plays, they're good enough to do it. Arizona, like we said, is very good. Kansas is very good. I think, Michigan State, I don't think they can get to a Final Four. Would they? I doubt it, but, you never know. Ohio State is a team that you better keep an eye on. They have 2 men that can just go score. But it's tough. Duke's got these injuries now. This is scary for them because they're not deep in the first place. It's going to be tough for Duke to get it done with with these injuries here.
What do you make, Uncle Dave, of the Chad Baker Mazzara situation with USC with him being dismissed from the team?
Nobody knows what happened yet. 30. He's 27 years old. He's older than Gordon, who is now working at SMU and is assistant athletic director. And
Wanted to be also on the record here, Uncle Dave. He's on his 5th college team. This guy, too, by the way.
And this
27.
And the aforementioned.
He's older, Uncle Dave, than more than half the NBA, by the way.
Yeah. He G had to stop playing in 2022 because he used up his eligibility. But Baker Mazzara obviously got 4 more years out of it. But I don't know.
This goes back to the rules. There has to be an age limit, I think, too, because come on, this is just ridiculous. I think
this is the problem. Do we know what happened? I have no idea what happened.
Had some sort of injury, he claimed, got looked at by the training staff, and then he literally doesn't sit on the bench. He sits on like the first row behind the basket. So it's like one of these bizarre, like Ron Artest where he lays across the scores table type of thing. Where it just does something completely out of the ordinary. I mean, this guy mentally, he just might not be there, and he's a
good player. That's the sad part. He's a good player.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just obviously it's insane. The guy, I mean, let's be honest, Uncle Dave, when you're playing college basketball at 27 and you're on your 5th team, there's definitely something wrong upstairs mentally.
Yeah, and like I said, why would you leave Auburn in the first place? I mean,
yeah, you're in a great situation there. It makes no sense.
Situation. I mean,
and you were a starter. You were getting a good amount of looks and shots. Yeah. I don't understand that at all.
I know Coach left, but I'm sure you got a decent amount of money to stay there if they want.
Also, too, you when you have someone coming up underneath him, that's his son, who's let's be honest, his number 1 assistant. You know that you're going to run basically the same shit.
Yeah, it's the same recruiting.
The guy, yeah, exactly.
He recruited you.
Yeah, they're not getting someone that's not in house, so you figure, all right, and you averaged double figures last year, you reached a Final Four, right? So you think you'd be coming back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness,
bizarre, right? It's totally bizarre, but you know what? The world is crazy today, and everybody thinks they're owed something, and that's where these games are at right now, and that's why how about what'd you think of the Hurley fine?
I think that's so ridiculous, honestly.
I mean, how hard is it going to be for him to pay 25 G's?
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like us paying $5. It's just
the guy just turned down $10 million from the Lakers. I think he's all right.
Yeah, remember we brought that up with him getting offered that money. We're like, there's no way he takes an NBA job, that guy, just to see how he's wired. There's absolutely zero.
I mean, just think about it. Here's a guy who everybody hates. Now, I hate UConn with 1,000 passions, but I love him.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
So, and that's a rare. That's rare. I've hated UConn way before Danny Hurley ever got there.
Remember, he was there when you first took me to. At that time, it was Easter Invitational, and he gave a
Yeah,
lecture. You could just tell, and he's just doing this in front of a few hundred kids. How passionate he was just doing that. You know, he
yeah.
was a no. And I remember one guy missed a layup, and he turned around and he's like, I hope the laughs are not over the missed layups, and you could just hear a pin drop in the gym because this guy, he just can tell how tough he is.
Well, his dad's tough.
Just talking shit, you know, but like I was like, wow. Yeah, it was like, yeah, no one said anything after that. I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that I love. I hope he gets a life of coaching. I just hope that the
He hasn't burnt out.
people begin to understand him. Maybe he has to go to another school before they appreciate him. But I just want people to understand how great a coach he is.
No, he's won everywhere he's been.
And he's, yeah, sure, he's nuts, but you name me the good coach who's not intense. I mean, what do you want me to do? Say please? I mean, yeah, like what are we talking about here?
Well, it's going to be one of those things. Does UConn eventually bend the knee because you've gotten so used to the winning, and people say, well, we don't like the how he's going about his business, like where it's like a Bob Knight situation where people are like, oh, it's not what he said, but it's how he's doing it. It's where you have someone who thinks that you could just win just because now that's the brand and the name. And like we talked about it too. Post Bob Knight, Indiana
Yeah.
basketball has been a lot of
Oh,
nothing. So you telling
well,
me if Dan Hurley leaves tomorrow, UConn's going to pick up right where they leave off with him
no,
leaving
they
the
ain't.
door? No
That's the
way.
thing. They're not.
No way. We talked about it in between them winning that championship with Kevin Ollie and Dan Hurley. UConn was very thin those years.
Yeah, they were, and
A lot of
they were
mediocre
lucky.
years.
They were lucky they were in the AAC being thin too. If they were in the Big East being thin, they would have got their ass handed to them.
Right.
People forget they were in the AAC for a while, which is totally different. How could these refs not count to three? The guy was in a lane for freaking Siena for like 9 seconds. Oh my God! When you hit a step back up 7 with 2 minutes left, holy crap! Siena's going nuts.
Yep. A lot of these games in the last 2 minutes, it can get absolutely dicey and crazy.
Yeah, Jerry McNamara's got to be ready to take a dump in his pants. He's such a competitor. He's in the locker room the other night. He was going crazy. Holy crap! I feel bad for these freaking guys. Oh man, they forced a shot, Mary Mac. Oh, they're done now. They forced a shot. They waited for one guy to run off double screens instead of running your offense. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now they're just gonna eat it. I'm gonna hold the ball. Oh my God, that's awful. Wow, they had the clock moving. I'm surprised Jerry McNamara took a timeout here. 20 on the shot clock. They weren't even being trapped. How could Gallo think that was a foul? I love Coach, but that wasn't a foul. The guy forced a shot, kicked the leg out. Not a foul. Yeah, why are they taking that shot? Oh my God, terrible. Yeah, so what's going on in the Gonzaga game? Gonzaga's up 7. We need that one so we can get SMU in here.
You see, Uncle Dave, that Jaylen Brown got ejected tonight?
For what?
He clearly got fouled and he didn't get a call, and so he was really upset about it. But he basically got pushed out of bounds. It was a blatantly missed call, and argued it, and he got a double technical. And he's definitely going to talk about how he doesn't get
He doesn't.
the all star treatment whistle.
He
And he doesn't,
doesn't.
even though
He
he's
doesn't.
proven that he's that kind of guy now.
Yeah, he's. I'm telling you, he's the guy that in the NBA that is so underrated. Like I sent you the thing about Marcus Johnson, who still was dunking on his birthday until he's 70 now. But he's a guy that's so strong. You can't see the problem when people watch basketball who don't like they have casual knowledge of it. They don't understand the strength quotient because they don't see it. Jumping high, we can all see. Making jump shots, we can all see. Height, we can all see. When a guy has strength, so when he turns the corner off that ball screen and pulls up in the lane and gives you the shoulder, you can't cover that.
Right.
Because when he hits you, you have to take 2 or 3 steps back, and he's already
Yeah.
elevated.
Right.
So Tatum can't even do that. Now, Tatum's 6'8", so he's got that advantage. But this guy is
Felt like a bull. Yeah.
This guy, like his guns don't look that big, but he is just solid. He has that just
like you said. I've
strength.
never seen anybody hit him back and him fall back. It doesn't happen.
Right. I think he's one of those guys that just has that strength. So what do we do with him? Well, that's the thing. So he's a guy that just so underrated. I believe. I
Also,
think
there's guys have the art of being able to manipulate the whistle. Like guys like James Harden and
Oh
Gilgeous
God, yeah.
Alexander, they're able to play that game of
James Harden
theatrics.
is one of the best I've ever seen at it.
Yeah, it's an art of drawing fouls, and someone
Yeah,
like James Harden and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander have mastered that.
yeah. James Harden is.
Whereas a guy like Jalen Brown is more of like a bull in a china shop, so you're less likely to maybe give him a call there. So it might be style of play a little bit with him as well.
Yeah, James Harden's one of the best I've ever seen. Earl Monroe back in the day was he invented the first facial where he'd get you up in the air and jump into it. That's Earl Monroe's the first guy to really do that. Marv Albert called it the facial. That's what everybody does today. Get you up in the air and you jump into it. Earl
I don't know
Monroe.
if you want to use that term nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Earl Monroe was the first guy to really do that. He would come through the lane, spin, get you up in the air, and just get you to jump into him, and then he'd just nail you. So yeah, Earl was the king of that. He was a special talent that way.
Also, before we conclude, Uncle Dave, I want to talk about how Kenny Atkinson said that Derek White he thinks is a top 5 player in the NBA.
Maybe because of maybe over a full season, you maybe could say that because of how he plays all the time.
Also, I think what he's talking about too is you could say he's a top 5 player if you consider role also a factor in that. He's definitely a top 5 guy in the league at his role, I would say for sure.
Yeah, I always wonder how people rank it because if you're going forward, you wouldn't take him as a top 5 player because
Of course not. No, no.
we have 3 or 4 rookies in the league who are just ridiculous.
Right.
But Derek White, as far as like you said, his particular role on a team and how much he plays, and you got to give him credit because without Tatum, everybody thought they were going to suck, including myself. But he's obviously him and Brown have played great, and you really got to give him credit. And I mean, the bad news is that I still think they'll be a live threat in the playoffs, but I could see them losing in a 2-7 game. We got to see what Tatum is. He played the other night. I didn't get a chance to watch. So we do have to see what Tatum is, and then we'll figure it out. And we'll go from there.
It'll be a very scary situation, though, if he gets to full form and you basically can blend what you have currently built already with him. But
you know me, I hate load management, but I'm afraid he might have come back too soon. I really didn't want to see him come back this quick.
Right.
Because I love Tatum. He's a Dookie, and he's a guy that I always thought should have been
and
a higher
Achilles
pick.
are scary, too. That's so scary.
He was a high pick in the draft, and he should have been a higher pick in the draft.
Because remember when Kevin Durant did that when he came back against the Raptors in the finals, he came back early and that thing just popped.
Yeah,
and he missed the whole season then the next year.
Yeah, and I don't want to see Tatum out. I love Tatum. Him and Brown are both underrated, and that's why like I said, I was really disappointed to see him come back. Even though I appreciate what he did, and he wants to earn his money, and maybe he sees an opening to get to the finals this year in the East, which I give him credit for. Detroit's lost 2 strange games, including one to the Nets where they were up 23 points in the third quarter. That was strange. No Cade that night, but still, it's the Nets. So Detroit's hit a little bit of a weird spot right here. It's getting ugly, so we got to figure it out and see what's going on with Detroit. It's probably nothing, but hopefully they straighten themselves out because I'm rooting for Detroit. I want to see Cade get his due.
I just don't see how you can't have Coach Mazzulla as Coach of the Year this year, right?
Oh, God, he's got to be.
He has to be. There's no way at this point in the season anyone would have thought that the Celtics would be number 1 in their division. There's absolutely zero chance.
No, I've never seen a more clear choice in my life in all the years of watching the NBA.
Yeah, I mean they're 2 games behind the number 1 seed in the whole Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I've seen and again part of it's because the NBA doesn't play hard anymore, and obviously
I don't care.
Mazzulla gets his guys to play hard. That's because he got a roster of guys that are looking for contracts. Again, it's like that little bit of that OKC model. You got a bunch of guys who are hungry, and maybe that's the wave of the future.
Unbelievable.
Especially when no one's going to play defense anyway. Maybe go get a bunch of guys who want to play and just go from there.
I think they just have the right blend too. Vucevic looks good in his role that he has there now. You have Luke Garza, so you have some depth, I think, on the front line.
So happy for Luke Garza. Happy for Luke Garza. This guy
with Minnesota, he wasn't getting a great. He has a better opportunity on the Celtics now for sure.
Yeah, and you know what, Minnesota. Again, Minnesota is one of the worst GM jobs I've ever seen in my life. So Chris Paul's sitting there. Minnesota has no point guard.
I know. Yeah.
And I'm not a Chris Paul fan. We know that. And Dallas Mavericks next year should pick up Chris Paul as a backup and be around, unless he's a prick. I don't know. Maybe he's a prick.
No, guys at this stage in their career, when they know that they're on their last legs, they usually act right and they're on the straight and narrow.
So I don't understand like some of these guys. It just bothers the hell out of me
Absolutely, yeah.
that they sit there with no point guard. And so here you have this T Wolves team, which their window is now, and you have no backcourt. I mean, Edwards is a nice player, but Jesus, you have no other guards to go around this man, and you have all these 6'10" guys shooting jump shots, which is great. But you have Rudy Gobert can't score in the gym by himself, but it's just kind of sucks. You feel bad because this is an opportunity for Edwards, and Edwards, he's going to have like 5 more years at this level.
Yeah, before the athleticism starts to then go, right?
Some starts, and right now Jerry McNamara is about to win here, and he's going to be talked about with Syracuse, and that's totally unfair to his kids. And someone will ask him, and that should be another thing that's not allowed. This man is going to have his team in the NCAA tournament, and someone's going to ask him about Syracuse, and that is just wrong.
That's coming.
Someone should have some goddamn dignity and don't ask him. You want to talk about it in the hallway? Go ahead. Not in front of a mic, not on TV, not on a podcast, not on a radio show. Don't ask him about that because it's just wrong.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee you his press conference that he has after this, maybe not tonight after the game, but the one before the NCAA tournament, that will definitely be a question.
Well, what's going to happen is
yourself coaching at Syracuse, guaranteed.
If they fire Red this week,
which could happen between now and then for sure.
Yeah, if they fire Red this week, that's the conversation the next day.
Absolutely, practice. Yeah.
It's totally unfair to the sophomore at Siena and the freshman at Siena. And I know he has to take the job. I get it, but can you just have some goddamn dignity?
Has Jim Boeheim talked to you? Has Syracuse talked to you? I see it coming.
Yeah, can you just have some dignity for the players and the people themselves involved? And of course, he obviously likes the area. He's lived there. Obviously, he has ties. I mean, it's a natural fit, but I just feel, geez, could we just? I know it's coming. I feel bad about it too, because it's not something you want to answer. I don't think anyway, because the world is crazy that way. Everything's got to happen now. You know it is.
The unfortunate part of the business.
Oh yeah, big time.
We shall end it there, and
all right.
We'll go we'll shoot for a show Thursday, Uncle Dave. Like you said,
sir.
The turnover with the tournament now and in the conference play, we definitely going to ramp it up now between now and the end of March Madness for sure.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, basketball fans, live long, prosper, may the force be with you. Take care.
Be good.